Day. Another great day for the Bet Out of Debt show. I have a great panel on today. Shannon Allen coming all the way from Miami, Florida. My nephew, Gregory Hunt in Virginia. And the always spectacular accountant, tax expert, Patrick Doherty. So, guys, I'm excited about the show today because we got some really good stuff to show our audience to share. Let's start with Shannon. Shannon Allen, you were on a few weeks ago and we were talking about crypto. We talked about hash graph and just basic information about the crypto space. And so I wanted you to follow up on some of the questions that our viewing audience had. They hit me behind the scenes, so I have you back to kind of address some of those questions. I know you have some other commitments today, and so I really appreciate you coming on the show to share. So will you share your update on the crypto questions that I pre-coordinated with you?
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that the people got back with you and had a ton of questions. That was pretty awesome. And you know, I I know a lot of people are just figuring out the crypto space. Everybody's running after it like the new gold rush. But for the most part, you got to make sure you know what you're doing with this, because the key with crypto is the fact that you are your own bank and you got to maintain extreme responsibility with this. Because if you don't, follow the rules and read up on this, you can lose all the way out. You can lose all the way out. But you did hit me with a few questions that the people had. And I can definitely answer those. And like you said, I have to run relatively quick, but I appreciate everybody having the questions, and I just want to add value. So the first one that you hit me with was, people wanted to know what a stable coin is. And basically, a stable coin is a new class of cryptocurrencies that basically is a cryptocurrency that's tied to a physical asset. So, for example, if you wanted to have a stable coin tied to the US dollar, that's kind of what Tether is. Um, People might tie a cryptocurrency to gold, for example. That would be the equivalent of a stable coin, tying a cryptocurrency to some form of physical asset. And that, doing that, giving it a bit more real value that a person might know about, and then that would take the price up if you had a real asset to tie it to. So if Troy, if you had a gold mine in southern Africa somewhere, and you said, "Hey, I got 10 million in gold that I'm going to tie it to this cryptocurrency," then that would make a stable coin.
Oh, okay. So it really has to be pegged to an asset. Is that the definition of a stable?
Yeah, that's exactly what makes it stable, is tying it to a physical asset.
Great. Yeah, that was very confusing for some. We have people who really are not familiar with the crypto space. So thank you for that explanation. Do any of you other guys have any questions related to stable before we go to the next question that was provided to Shannon?
I have a question.
Okay.
Yep.
So when a coin gets pegged to a traditional asset like gold or silver or whatever the case may be, does that give it more liquidity? Do you find that there's more trading liquidity in such coins as compared to coins that are not tethered?
I mean, the thing with that is you can't just tie it to gold in general. You have to have it as a, like, you have to know somebody that actually has the asset, and then by doing so, it makes it, no different than how a stock would perform. It's like you have this amount of gold and you're tying your crypto to that. So by doing that and then advertising that, that actually is the thing that would create the liquidity, because people will say, okay, they have this tied to a real asset.
Okay, understood.
All right, Shannon, what was the next question that was provided to you along the crypto space?
Okay, the next question that you asked, well, actually the audience had, was, what's the difference between a coin and a token? Okay, so a coin would be some type of cryptocurrency that has its own blockchain. So Bitcoin is on its own blockchain. Ethereum is on its own blockchain. But a token is if you take a part of the existing blockchain and tokenize it. So basically, Ethereum does that, where you can make a form of payment using that blockchain and tokenize a section of it. So if you had a section of Ethereum, so Ethereum is the main one known for having tokens. So tokens represent an asset on that one specific blockchain. So imagine if I'm thinking of a good stock analogy, but subshares from the existing blockchain, where some people would make their own cryptocurrency that would be a token off using Ethereum's blockchain technology, but they are not their own standing cryptocurrency. They would be using the Ethereum blockchain as the powering force to their token.
Gotcha.
So creating a token
Patrick,
is easier than creating a coin. You don't have to come up
right.
with a new code or existing code. That's what Ethereum is for. So people can actually use Ethereum as the backbone, and then you can create your. I mean, you can make the Patrick coin if you wanted to, or Patrick token. It would be a token, not a coin.
Yes, understood.
So the coin is the technology, the platform, and the token is what would transfer or spread or use that platform or that technology to transfer information, or just is the application on top of that platform? Is that what you're
Right.
saying?
Because a lot of people would make their own kind of tokenized system using Ethereum. So you can have your own coin that's, well, or token that's trading, but it's using Ethereum as the platform. So they're using the Ethereum blockchain, but you have your own token, if that makes sense. So, coins are a method of payment, while tokens represent a company's share, or a point of Ethereum. So the price actually does have more to do with Ethereum than anything else.
So it's kind of like a derivative security.
Right. That would be a good analogy as well.
Okay. So it's like a futures contract on an underlying.
Yes, it's like it's a form of payment inside the project's ecosystem. So
Understood.
yeah, exactly. So it performs similar functions as coins, but the main difference is, you can perform in that network.
No, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, that seems straightforward enough. I did get a question in the chat about any preferred wallets. I thought you addressed that a few weeks ago. I
Yeah, I
received a
did.
question from Tony Johnson about any preferred wallet that you would recommend based on that.
That would be either Ledger or Trezor. So those are the two key ones.
Yes, I
Yeah.
remember that. I remember that from a few weeks ago. Yes, I remember that. Okay, what was the other crypto question, Shannon?
I'm looking right now. It says that, well, I'll skip to the crypto question because it's two more questions. That one question, main question that has to do with crypto, and then the other one is more of a currency based question. But it says, how can someone mine Bitcoin when Bitcoin has a finite amount that exists? And how do miners get certified to mine? You don't have to be quote unquote certified to mine Bitcoin. Like in theory, there's kids that can set up an Xbox to mine Bitcoin. All mining is validation, validating transactions. So when you make a payment on using cryptocurrency, all the network does is it reaches out to the rest of the network and says, this payment happened. And it basically validates it. So all mining is validating transactions and make sure that everybody knows that transaction is real. So every transaction that happens, the whole network gets to know that. And the miners are the ones that validate all those transactions all at once. That's why Bitcoin is the biggest network, and it won't go down because they have all of those miners and all over the world to validate all the transactions. If a transaction doesn't work or is false, it'll notify all of the rest of the nodes when say, hey, this transaction isn't right, and they'll refuse it and it won't happen.
Interesting. Wow. Did you know that, Patrick?
Yes, I understand that that there are a lot of transactions that take place in the crypto space, and that you have all these miners who have these humongous GPUs. You understand what I'm saying? Like they'll use these NVIDIA cards. Just a plug for NVIDIA right there. And these GPUs are so powerful that they could validate millions of transactions that go on in the crypto space. So that's why it's very important to have a good GPU rig for mining. And then you can create income if you validate enough transactions, from what I hear.
Yes. One would think mining is like digging and creating, because there are a limited amount of, Bitcoins, for instance, but really mining is only validating a transaction. I mean, why do you need so many people validating a transaction? And I guess I'm confused. I'm not a crypto guy. I'm just a traditional 30-year, investor in the market. But I guess, how do they make money from validating transactions? Who is paying them per transaction to validate?
So
I'm just curious how all of that works.
Yeah, so for every transaction that's validated, that's how the miners get money. They get a small fraction, small piece for validating that transaction. That's why everybody wants to be, a lot of people that are mining want to be a miner, because their computer is doing that transaction. And while doing so, they're making money, or they're making Bitcoin.
And who allows them to be certified again? How do they be anointed the right to say accurately validate transactions?
Well, basically, you just have to like set your computer up to be able to be a validator. So virtually anybody can be help to validate transactions. So basically, that's the reason why everybody does it. But that's the reason why everything on the network is safe, because you got hundreds of thousands of validators validating every transaction. It's better than the way that the current economy works, where they can just print money at will, and you don't know what's counterfeit. In this way, they they can just print at will. But if there's a counterfeit transaction with the Bitcoin network, it automatically refuses it because of all of the hundreds of thousands of validators are out there. So if this transaction happens, instantly it's refused. But if you got somebody that's really good at manufacturing counterfeit bills, oh, there's no stopping that until people really find out about what they're doing.
Interesting. Okay. All right. I see why people put a lot of money in Bitcoin now, because they feel relatively safe that, it's there, whatever they put in, they feel relatively safe that that money is secure. All right, Shannon, there was one additional like currency question that was thrown your
Yeah,
way
nah,
before we lose.
yeah. The big question of I guess the elephant in the room is a lot of people don't understand or know the difference between money and currency, and that point is pretty big because a lot of people call money money, but it's not money. It's it's currency. It's fiat currency made by the government and printed by the government because it has a medium of exchange, has a unit of account, is portable, is durable, is divisible, and it's fungible, meaning it's interchangeable, but it doesn't have a store of value. So true money has a store of value. That being said, if we were to time travel back to the year 2000 and I gave you the value of $100 worth of gold and I gave you the value of $100 bill, what happened to that $100 in bill, and then what happened to that $100 in gold? So Patrick, how much would $100 in 2000 be right now in 2021? The value is skyrocketed, but
for gold,
for
yes,
gold, but the $100 bill,
it's probably worth $75.
Yeah, it's worth less
in real terms, including inflation.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, I gotcha.
But
Okay.
did you like that difference between money and currency? Because I can't even. It's hard after I learned that like that. It's hard for me to call currency money.
And I know
It
that.
is, yeah.
I
Go
know
ahead,
that
Patrick.
the IRS treats the Bitcoins as property, so it'd be like a commodity in the eyes of the IRS. So it's like investing in copper, investing in gold, as we were just talking about, platinum, or anything that can increase in value versus raw currency.
Yeah, Bitcoin has got the closest thing to a store of value. So Bitcoin is the equivalent of digital gold.
Exactly.
Okay, so Shannon, and party, are you still a big hash graph guy?
Oh, of course. I think that one has actually the most upside. I would say I was explaining this to one of my young friends as a singer, and I was teaching them crypto, using analogies, and I would say you can say like Hashgraph is like 2008 Drake, where in 2008 I knew Drake was gonna kill it, but now Drake is on top. Hashgraph is 2008 Drake for anybody that can get that music analogy.
Interesting.
Ooh.
We shall see. We shall see. That's a bold prediction. But it might come to fruition. I thought Bitcoin was garbage like 2 or 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
If you thought that, then you were real wrong.
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
I didn't understand
absolutely.
it though. I didn't understand it very much. So hey.
Yeah. So
Well, that's why we have different guys like we have on the show, right? And it's cool to get some, feminine energy here and get a nice lady that's in the game. It'd be cool to have her on the Bet Out of That show. But it really comes down to what's your investment style, what you are comfortable with. as well as, what are you good at investing in, and for me, stocks and options make a lot of sense. I'm still learning the crypto, but I'm fascinated when I have people like yourself, Shannon, come on and talk about crypto. It's really interesting. And I see the whole world going that way, which makes me a little nervous because, but I think it's a movement that's there and you cannot stop it. You know what I mean?
Nah, it's actually going to be, it's set to replace the current system. It's just right now there's a nice bit of confusion and distraction going on while all of this stuff is going on behind the scenes to really help to change and speed that up.
Okay. Well, Shannon,
Like that. Do you know about
any shout
China?
outs for the next world leader before we sign you out for today?
Oh man, I appreciate coming on here. I'll tell everybody on the show to look at the what China's doing with their digital renminbi, because they're going digital with their currency. They're the first nation to have a real recognized digital currency right now, and they're basically getting all of their people on it. So look at what they're doing, and then that's basically the U.S. is moving laws to make digital U.S. dollar as well. I think they tried to put that inside of some COVID bills. But if you look into that, that's what's next. And as long as everybody knows what's next, at least you can bet yourself out of debt, as a good Troy Johnson would talk about.
I hear you. Thank you, Shannon. Thanks for contributing. We look forward to hearing more from you in the future. And thanks for coming on. Have a good day.
Appreciate you guys. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
All right. So let's continue on. We got our crypto update, really powerful information. Hey guys, I wanted to share something about, trading and investing, and how do you use a catalyst to improve your investment odds. So those who look at, making a quick buck, we call that trading. And I have Gregory Hunt on to talk about an even quicker buck to make. And then to make that big money, that's long-term investing, right? So parking that money into a good index fund or a really good high growth stock and having it compound over 5, 10, 15, 20 years, no trading can beat that. That's where the big money is. So, but if we are talking about trading to make that little capital to take your special person out, male, female, whatever your persuasion is, then one should know when earnings are coming out and when earnings will affect your trade. And for those who do not understand what earnings is, Patrick, would you like to share with the audience what is earnings?
Well, earnings are issued every quarterly for a stock, and essentially what an earnings release does is it talks about how the company did as compared to analyst expectations on a quarter per quarter basis. Many stocks that beat earnings will see their shares appreciate very strongly, especially as earnings are released in the aftermarket. Whereas companies that do not beat earnings, as analysts hope, will see their stocks drop consequently. And earnings are very, very important because it's a good way to see how a company has done year over year, quarter over quarter. And there's going to be some periods where the earnings of a company may not be up to snuff with the analysts on Wall Street or wherever they may be. However, if it's a good company, has a good underlying fundamental profile and continues to deliver earnings overall going into the future, then these earnings, the earnings trend will still look positive, even if they miss 1 or 2 quarters, and the stock will move higher based on those earnings, because it's going to indicate stronger cash flow from operations, which is very, very quintessential.
Yeah. And so based on what you just said there, stocks typically go up prior to earnings announcement. And if we know the direction of a stock, then we can make money on it during a short period of time. So if I know earnings is coming up in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, stocks typically start to run up, meaning stock prices for that company starts to elevate up about 4 weeks prior to earnings. And those prices of that particular stock will level off right near a couple of days before earnings. And then after the earnings announcement, the stock will either tank and go down or shoot up. So it's really volatile. But going up into earnings, if it's a growth company, I can predict the direction of the stock in a lot of cases. So that is really good information I really will want to know. So how do I understand and know that information? I wanted to show the audience a trick that I use to do short-term gains to make a few $100 here and there on earning plays. So let me share my screen. Let's see. I think it's on this screen here. Yeah. Can you guys see my screen?
I can see your screen.
All right. I have my 12-year-old daughter account up like I always show. I always show my daughter Kiara's account. So when you log into TD Ameritrade, here are the stocks that my little 12-year-old owns. She's doing all right for herself. But when you log into TD Ameritrade, you come to this account page. And once you hit this web page, all you have to do is go to My Account Overview and click on it. And this page will come up. This is the My Account Overview page. So I just wanted to show the audience how to get there. And then once you see this page, you would go down here to the calendar. And this is really powerful information here because as you can see today, it is May 2nd, 2021. But you have these tabs here. You have the news, you have the watch list, but what I'm really interested in is the calendar. And let me see if I can blow this up a little bit. I'm not so sure how it's coming across on the screen. But what's so great about this calendar is you can put your watch list in here. So any watch list that I created in TD Ameritrade, and this is Troy's watch list. And the reason why my watch list is coming up within my daughter's account, because I have a custodial account for her. So our accounts are linked together. So my watch list will come up. I have about, 75 growth stocks, some speculative, some growth that I track. But what's beautiful here is I can go and click here and earnings. I can look at upcoming earnings. And I can see that Zillow on Tuesday will be reporting. It will show me what the analyst expects the earnings to be, what they expect. So they expect between 17 cents and 32 cents per share of profit. This is the estimate when you see the E. This is what the consensus is. So Here's the range of all of the analysts that analyzed this company, Zillow, which is based out of Seattle, where I am currently living. And so this is the consensus that all of the analysts agree that this is the price. And so if Zillow comes out on Tuesday and beat, I think it was Tuesday, we'll see in a second. If they beat this price, then there's a good percentage the stock is going to take off further. But if they miss this earnings per share estimate, then the stock will probably go down. Yeah, it is Tuesday. So you could just click through the economic calendar for all of the stocks that are on your watch list, and it only pulls up the ones that are on your watch list, which is so cool about it. So, I have PayPal, Rocket, Plug on my watch list. It shows the quarterly percentage of how that particular stock performed in the previous quarter. And then it shows the estimate range. And then here's the consensus estimate that these particular stocks have to beat coming up on the economic calendar, or I should say the earnings calendar here. So really powerful information for those who would trade. So how would I use this? Let's say this is this week. I particularly know that stocks run up prior to earnings, stock prices, I should say. So if I were to look out a week from today, then these two stocks, Disney and GoodRx, are scheduled to report. And so I could do trades in this week betting or making an investment that this stock would go up in advance of its earnings. So that's how you can use this information. And if you believe, based on the news, the fundamental analysis that you have been looking at, the technical analysis and charts, that let's say, for instance, Disney will beat this estimate of 28 cents, so 0.279 is basically 28 cents. This 28 cents consensus number, then you would have a pretty good bet for the week, and you can make some money depending on selling selling a put or buying a call, or just outright buying the stock for a short trade. What is also good about on TD Ameritrade is you can look at previous weeks. So let's say if you want to go back and check, what did some stocks who reported the previous week, like in April, on the 28th, Apple reported, and you want to just look back on the historicals and see, did Apple really beat earnings? I cannot remember. So here's the estimate range. Here is the previous quarter performance. But look, here, this E turns to A. And now Apple actual earnings per share report out is $1.40. So it beat the range of $1.09 profit. So you can go back and look. Boeing was in the middle of the range. Ford beat in profitability and earnings per share really greatly. Look at that. They were in the estimate range of here, and they came out at 89 cents. So really good information to use for those who will be making investment decisions, trying to pick a stock, need to remember what happened in the past. You can use this earnings calendar on TD Ameritrade under this market account overview page to look at earnings information. And just another good thing, you can look at when stocks are planning, your watch list, when they are planning to report their dividends. So This is a stock I'm tracking, ASML. They report on Monday. And so you could just Apple reports their dividends. I shouldn't say report. I really should say their ex-dividend date. If you own the stock prior to this date, you would get 22 cents a share. This is the ex-dividend date. So it gives you all of your dividend dates of when your watch list will be providing dividends. And it also gives you investor conferences that are coming up. So all of the investor conferences that are coming up in the month of May, you can go in, you can click on these, you can see what's coming up, and you can sign up for some of these. Like, for instance, on Tuesday, May the 4th, Oppenheimer is having their 16th annual Industrial Growth Conference. So you could click on this and a pop-up blocker may be on, but you can go and sign up to attend virtually. So just really powerful stuff here. Stocks that are scheduled to split within the month, even economic news, all of the important economic news for the week. You can see it all right here that may affect the price of a stock. So that's what I wanted to share, guys, today. I hope that's helpful. Any questions before we move on? Because I'm really excited to see what Gregory Hunt is going to show shortly. I know, Patrick, you have something to talk about as related to applied materials, but
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure if what I just presented made sense and if there were any questions.
Made perfect sense.
Yeah, it made really good sense. I didn't know that calendar, at least at that level, existed.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah, you do. You do. And I guess it's pretty easy to construct your watch list within that calendar.
Yeah, that's just your overall watch list. So
Right.
if you create a watch list in Thinkorswim,
Okay.
you create a watch list on the web in the TD Ameritrade web interface, it's the same watch list. It pulls over.
Okay. So it does the data pull over to this calendar.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. It's pretty good stuff.
Okay.
Great. Okay. Well, that's what I wanted to share with the audience. All righty. Hey, Patrick.
Yes.
I'm not sure I can hold back any further with the information that Gregory Hunt has to share. What do you think?
I'm excited about that information as well.
Yeah, so my nephew Gregory Hunt recently started to get into the Forex space and get into the high frequency trading space. And so I invited him back. You know, Gregory has been on past shows. We have talked about selling puts. He still sells puts. But Gregory wants that fast money. And there's nothing faster than high frequency trading. So, hey, Gregory, welcome back to the show. We call it bet out of debt because when you place a trade, it's called placing a bet. And hopefully it's a winning one, keep you out of debt. So hopefully the stuff you will be showing the audience right now will keep them out of debt. So welcome back. And what do you have to share? Won't you give an update on what you've been doing and all about this Forex trading and this live demonstration you're prepared to share with the audience today?
Yeah, so past couple of months, I've been trading options, placing puts and calls, selling puts, buying calls, and you know, made a few profits here and there. Just recently sold a call on CCIV, so I collected my premium last week. So it didn't pass my strike. We'll be placing selling another call Monday to collect more premium. But recently, I just got into the high frequency Forex trading space, and it's very exciting. I'm very excited about doing it for the past 2-3 weeks now. And I'm a part of this academy called I Am Academy, which is a pretty good investment group where you can make money different ways in the crypto space, the Forex space, the e-commerce space. So it's different ways you can make money, which is pretty cool. But I'm gonna share my screen here. Let's see. Let's share it. Okay, so we have here.
And make sure, Gregory, you blow that up a bit, because when you view things on like a phone, it's exponentially smaller. So what looks big on your desktop is going to look microscopic on the phone. I tried to blow what I was showing, but I'm sure it's still going to come across too small once you see it on the phone.
Okay, let me zoom it in a little bit. Let's see. All right, so this is one of the platforms. This is one of the tools that we use from the Academy. This is called Hourglass Cash Trap. This is something that's amazing that we use to get confirmations before we place trades. So as you can see here, this is the Bollinger Band. As you can see, this is the pair up here. We usually have majority of the pairs to the right side, but the market opens at 5 p.m., so they won't appear until 5. So this pair is what, let me see, this is GBP and CAD. So we have the Bollinger Band here, as you can see. And these are the candlesticks that we have. And you have your support and resistance when it goes up and down. So one of the indicators we usually have is, just say, for example, where it's a put, we're going to have an arrow pointing down that's indicating a put right in here. Like I said, it's not showing because the market's not open. And another one indicator you'll have either a S, which stands for sell, B as in buy. And we had the RSI down here on the bottom. Let's say, for example, this red line, when the line strikes past and comes back down, crossing the red line, that's another indicator where we're placing a put. The green line, if it strikes through going up past the green line, that's indicating that's a buy. So that would be 3 confirmations right there that we would use. Another one is the pairs. Usually, like I said, the pairs are on the right side. Let's say, for example, GBP and CAD. Let's say GBP, we be doing a put. If that number beside GBP is lower than CAD, the number on CAD, that's another indicator that we'll be placing a put. Vice versa, when we place in a call, the number up top will be higher than the number on the bottom, as well, if we could see it on the right side. So this is a tool that we use before we place our plays on our charts. Other websites that we use is Forex Factory. So we want to see if the news on the currency. If there's any red folders, more unlikely we would not trade that currency because it's bad news in the market. Another site that we use is let me This is tradingview.com. So we also use that site as well. And we also, let me clear this up. Let's see. Later. This to the side. We also use the currency strength meter as well. Like to, as you can see, the strongest currency is the US dollar. So we also use these as indicators before we trade. So I use IQ Cent. This is a broker that I use, which is pretty cool. As you can see, we have the pairs to the left, and then the percentage of the payout that the broker would give us if we win the trade. And to the right here, this is my balance right here, $409. I started off with $100, a profit of $300. I only been in for about 2 to 3 weeks. So I'm just starting to build my account up. We have the timer here. So we place 1 to 3 minute trades. And going back to Hourglass, I didn't say this, but going back to this, we keep it on a 5 minute. Each candle is 5 minutes. So we go based off of these candles, and we place 1 to 3 minute trades, sometimes 5. But this is the amount you want to put in. So for example, we do on Euro USD, $10 will pay out 70%, which would give you $7 profit. So get this out the way, make the screen bigger. But so for example, let's say we wanted to do a call starting at this. We usually call out the last 3 numbers because there's so many numbers. So we do the last 3 numbers. Let's say we want to do 022, and we wanted to do a call, and we wanted to do 1 minute. Based off of my analysis that I looked on Hourglass, I'm going in for the call, and when that 1 minute expires, we're assuming that it will be above our strike price, and we would profit $7. If we lose the $10. Also, if we place a call and say the strike price was at 022 and it falls right here to 0.005, we have a tool. We can place a rollover, and it usually be right here on the bottom right, where we could select it, where it gives us more time on the trade, and it ups the total bid 30 extra percent. So you can potentially win 30 more percent on what you put in. As you can see right here, $10 would be extra 30%. And also you can place as many trades as you want in that one trade. So if we do a 1 minute trade, you can have multiple positions. So say, for example, we placed a call and it falls below that strike price and it drops down even more, we can go ahead and place another call and get a better position where it could potentially either help you if you lose that first trade, or you can potentially win both and win double your money, which is pretty awesome. And these are my results last Friday. I started trading Friday at 4 p.m. and the market closed at 5 on Friday. And I traded, I traded GBP and AUD, and some of them was calls and puts. And I lost my first trade. I had $33 up. I bet $33, so that probably also was a rollover.
Can you blow that up a little bit?
Okay.
Or is that what mess you up?
No, it's okay. I'm blowing it up right here. So I bet
that's better.
$33.80. I didn't win that, and it was a call, so it fell below my strike. So the payout was 0, didn't win. The second call, I put up $26. That also was probably a rollover or an extra entry, and I end up going above my strike, and the payout was $45. My third, I lost lost the next 2, but then I won my last 6 trades before 5 p.m. As you can see, the payouts to the right. So I did pretty good, 7 wins out of 10. So they, our educators in IM Academy, they tell us to only bet 3% of your capital in your account. The goal is usually, if you up 8% in winnings, go ahead and close the laptop for the day and go, get ready for the next day. Where you're down 5% of what you have in your account, close the laptop, the day is over. They try to teach us discipline, because I know a lot of people like to get greedy, and you just have to have discipline when you're doing this, and just study. We have multiple tools that you can study before trading. We also I have a demo account with this, so when I want to practice, I practice with my demo account. So but yeah, this is the platform that I use. The HFX, high frequency trading, is very exciting. I'm excited about it. I'm up in profit, and the market opens at 5 p.m. today. I'm excited to get into the market today to get some more profits on 1 to 3 minute trades. This platform is amazing. I'm excited about the academy and I'm part of. Also, we have a business side too as well. I push more of the customer side because it's so exciting. But if I'm going to tell people about the platform, especially if people see my results on my social media and they ask me, hey, how are you able to make that money in minutes? It's only right to get paid as well with sharing the concept. So, but that's basically it. If you want to contact me, my Instagram is gfly, GEE_fly 3 underscores. And I can get you started and get you making money in minutes, high frequency style.
Yeah, that's pretty cool stuff. Patrick, you see that high frequency trading?
I am seeing that. It's I'm kind of trying to picture it in my mind how I could make some money here. So I saw a bit of a consolidation pattern right here, and then it broke a trend line to the bottom. So that's where you would buy a put, right? Am I correct, Gregory?
Yeah. Well, based off the indicators, let's say, for example, let's go. Let's zoom in. I wouldn't particularly like to do a put when it's on the top of the Bollinger Band. And if my indicators say, okay, it's a sell.
Yeah.
And if my RSI is right here and it's, trending down,
yes,
I'm more than likely I'm going to place that put to go down. Sometimes I like to get a better position on the chart. Say if it spikes up here,
yes,
and it's still trending down, I like to get the position right there. I'll wait to spike till it spikes up to get at that entry. Because sometimes, we might say, okay, we get right here, and it might spike up. So I'd like to wait and see if I can get a better position. But particularly the educators, we call out the 3 numbers. To basically when to get in, the trade. But it's up to you to make that confirmation from based off your technical analysis.
right. Okay, another question.
Yes, sir.
Is that when you look at 1 minute trade, does that mean that after a minute your account gets closed, the trade gets closed out after a minute?
Yes. So
no matter what you're doing, no matter how well you're doing, if you're making money or you're losing money,
yes,
the 1 minute trade, so the trade only lasts 1 minute. So it's not like you're holding on to a position, like maybe holding on to a stock and then determining, okay, I want to hold on to this thing
it's not long term.
Okay.
This is like, for example, my results, the last 10 trades that I did was majority 1 minute. I particularly do between 1 to 3 minute trades, but these last 10 was 1 minute trades. Maybe 1 or 2 was 2 minute. And so the money you put up, you put up the amount you want. $10 here, 20. You can do 100. You can do 1,000. You can do 10,000. And you put your timer in, and you get your technical analysis, and you say, hey, I'm going in for a call, this thing is going to go up. I'm looking at the trend line. I'm looking at the technical analysis. I'm looking at the charts, and I believe that it's going to hit support and it's going to jump up. Boom, you can get in with a 1-2 minute trade. And when expiration time, as you can see, it says expiration time, start time, expiration time. It has your order size and then your payout. If you win the trade, you're going to see your profits. If you lose the trade, you're going to see zero. So
right.
It's a bet, and you just hope you win. But as long as your technical analysis are lining up and correct, majority of the time you will win. But you just can't go in there guessing. You just say, hey, I'm going in for a put. No, you have to look at the charts, get your confirmations. So you just can't
absolutely guess. No, I understand.
Oh, what's so cool about this is, what we talk about on this Bet Out of Debt show. It's the same stuff. It's the same technical analysis. If you go back and look at the session that Gregory and I had a couple of months ago, the basis of technical analysis, he is using that exact same stuff that we use for buying stocks and option trading for high frequency Forex trading. We trade over the course of days, weeks, and months. He's trading over the course of a minute to a couple of minutes. But the same information is being used. There's so many different ways to make money.
The same analysis being used.
Yeah, look at his account. Look at that account at the top, his account balance at the top, that $409. He started out with, what did you start out with, Gregory?
About around roughly $100.
Roughly $100. He's grown it to 409. He's relatively new at this. He is super excited about this. And for those who have that risk tolerance, this may be the platform for them, because you can put up any small amount of change. And once you learn the skill set, it's the same skill set that you can use across the board. But go ahead, Gregory, Patrick, I think I cut someone off.
No, that makes sense. And then another thing is, how does one finance it? I guess can you set up like an ACH transfer?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I left that out. So we use Cash App. So basically what you do is you can do it right now, one account, and you will go here and you put in an amount you want to deposit. Your second step, we usually do Bitcoin. We do Bitcoin, and then we go, let's say I wanted to do, let's see, you fund the account, and then you copy the QR code after this step. And then what you do with that, you go back to Cash App, you buy the amount in US dollars. Say you want to do 250, you buy $250 in Bitcoin. Then you use that address you copied from iqcent.com, you place it on the send part or to bar on Cash App, and it appears on your Cash App. You select the wallet address, and then you send it off from Cash App to IQCent, and it usually takes 5 to 30 minutes to get into your account. So that's how we transfer the money. That's how you fund your broker's account. That's how we do it. So
okay.
And then you'll be good to go. You'll be ready to trade and just trade in minutes, make money in minutes.
Understood.
Hey, Gregory, you're getting some shout outs in the chat. You have DMV Cowboys saying what's up. You have Derek Anthony in Las Vegas saying great information. People really appreciate that information you're sharing. So can you give us another shout out to your Instagram or Facebook account where people can track your trades? You actually post your winnings, your net for the day. And I know my parents, they're saying, do you see your nephew? He's killing them in the Forex game. So will you share that again?
Yeah, my Instagram is gfly. So it's GEE_fly ____. And my Facebook is Gregory Hunt. I post my wins and I post my losses. So a lot of guys, they post number wins. It's like no way you can win everything. So I post my losses as well. But like I said, you got to embrace the journey, enjoy it, and enjoy the journey. This is a fun platform. I'm excited. It's like it's money in minutes. Just I was tired of seeing other people on my social media is making money in minutes, and I was just trying to figure out, hey, what is this thing? What is this? And my friend showed me how it works, and I got in the system, and I've been coachable and teachable ever since, and just learning the platform and how to perfect it. So I'm just excited to continue this journey and help people along the way as well that want to make money in minutes off of the high frequency platform.
All right. Well, keep us up to date on how things are going. You are my nephew, so I would definitely have you on the show, sharing information, posting results. And also, I know, in talking to you off camera, there is a business opportunity related to this as well, where you can make residual income as part of this club. And so that's something you should share as well.
Yeah. So my first week, I just joined as a customer, to learn the platform of the high frequency trading. Like I said, there's other platforms like the e-commerce where you have your online store, crypto space. But I was more intrigued of the high frequency trading. So my first week, I just did the customer just to earn money in minutes. And then the business side made sense. The comp plan made too much sense. So like I said earlier, if I'm going to show my results and, show my winnings on how, simple, I'm not going to say easy because nothing's easy, but how simple it is to make money in minutes in the foreign exchange market. I might as well get paid for it. If someone asks me, hey, put me on, show me how to do it. And in the last 2 weeks, I hit the level of platinum 600, which is residual of $600 a month. And that was only in 2 weeks. So usually we have a track record where, we start here and to get the platinum 600 is 3 months. So to actually hit that fast, is exciting to actually make residual income on top of money I make from trading Forex and high frequency platform. So to actually, potentially, to actually get both of those incomes, it just made sense. And I'm on track to hit the next rank as Platinum 1000, which is $1,000 a month on top of the profits that I make from trading high frequency.
It's another stream of
Yeah,
income, which is really good.
Yeah, that's what's really cool about this academy. I was introduced to this a while back, just from my style of investing and trading. Getting down to the minutes is just too quick for the old man like me. But I know people make a lot of money on it, on this high frequency Forex trading. And you use the same systems that we're using here. It's just, at a more micro level. So it's just really cool stuff. And what I really like about what you're doing as well, Gregory, is just that residual factor where you introduce this opportunity to others. And once you introduce it to them, they come in, you share your experiences. And while they're making money, you're making money, they can bring additional people in and make money as well. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Also, everything is, you can write it off. That's another amazing thing as well. Once you get your 1099 form, you have the proof of you making money with the platform, and you can write your business expenses off, which is pretty cool. It's just it just made sense.
Well, before we go further, I had a question in the chat from a few minutes ago from Tony Johnson in the chat. Tony was asking, have you tried to pull your money out of this thing yet? So you're talking Bitcoin and crypto and all of that, but have you attempted to pull your money? Maybe you have gains that are unrealized that would never be realized because you cannot pull your money out. So what do you have to say about that?
Oh, I haven't pulled in my money out. But we made sure that the brokers that we choose, we're able to pull out our money and send it back so we can have it in our accounts. So I have a few mentors, a few partners that been trading and using this platform for about the past 4 or 5 months, and they're able to transfer their money back into their bank account. So I haven't, because I'm trying to build my account up. But I have some colleagues, like I said, they've been doing it for 4 to 5, 6 months, because this platform is actually new that we just introduced. It's really new, because beforehand we were just trading regular Forex on the MetaTrader 4 platform. So, but yeah, they definitely, you're able to transfer your money back to your accounts so you can, take your profits. They only recommend us to take out 20% of our capital to put back in our account. So, but yeah.
Well, I definitely wanted to have you on the show. You will be coming back to the show. Follow Gregory to see his wins, his losses, his transparency, and we, much appreciated. It's something I'm looking at. I may, it's such a simple platform. You just hit the button call. You just hit the button put. Call means you believe the stock or the foreign exchange. I think in your case, you're trading the euro. So if you feel that, is it the euro or what are you trading?
Oh, it doesn't matter. You can do USD, JPY, USD, CAD. I mean,
yeah, USD CAD would be the Canadian dollar. The JPY would be the Japanese yen. The EUR would be the euro. But it's really just placing an investment on the direction of that currency based on using the same technical indicators that we use in the stock market. And it's really simply just pressing a button that says call when you see your technical indicator say it should go in the up direction, and pressing the button put when the technical indicators say it should go in the down direction. And there's enough technical indicators that you will win more than you lose. And it's a quick way to make a quick buck for those who have the quick stamina. So I love it. I love it. So I think that's it, Gregory. You can stop sharing your screen. Really interesting stuff. We have a high frequency Forex trader in the house, Patrick.
Yes. So what I want to discuss right now is applied materials.
Patrick, tell us why you want to talk applied materials.
Applied Materials is a leading stock in the NASDAQ 100 and the SMH ETF. And it has consistently beat the earnings expectations. And it's one of the leaders in the in the chip making space. There are others such as KLA Tencor. I think semiconductor might be another one, but I think Applied Materials is a very, very strong contender. And I just want to share my screen to look at the fundamentals of the company, if I may.
Yeah, and this is going to be Patrick's investment/trade for the quarter. So Patrick, let's get into it.
Okay, so first of all, this has been the trend here in terms of the earnings beats. I mean, there was one quarter where it was a little bit shy, but for the most part, if you look at this trend going upwards, here there was an estimate of 95 cents a share. It beat 100 by reporting 106, if you can see that. And then the next quarter after that, the estimate, of course, was $1.17. The actual was $1.25. And then the last quarter it reported, it beat the estimate as well. Right now, the current estimate's at $1.51 per share. I think it will beat that because the trend is looking very strong as well. If you look at the analyst ratings, I still have that here. Essentially, what a lot of the analysts have said that it's a strong buy for the most part. And if you look at the trend of the revenue dating back from 2017, here the trend keeps moving higher. There was one year where it was a little bit slower, but then the trend resumed its upside potential or upside performance. And if you're to look at the 12-month trailing average, the total revenue has been around 18.2 billion, and the cash flow has also been fairly strong from operating operations. So again, from 2017, we're looking at 3.6 billion. They raised cash from operations, and then 2018 they increased that to 3.7. Dropped a little bit in 2019, but then it resumed its uptrend in 2020, and in the last 12 months, it has increased to 4.2 billion. Now, for the trading opportunity, because I mentioned it's a high tech stock. Right now, I think the market's pretty stable overall, and it's the overall tech market is pretty much caught in a channel. However,
Can you blow that up? Sounds super.
I could blow that up.
Mr. Patrick Doherty. You blow that up a little bit.
Is that
like to 175, maybe?
175, yeah.
Yes, sir.
So anyways, right here, the QQQ, which is the NASDAQ 100, this is looking like it's consolidating right here. And then you can see that the Bollinger Bands are coming close together. So the volatility is kind of dropping. But I think, again, because the economy is strong and the tech is back, and as I was describing that in the previous video, I think the tech is going to go higher. And while I'm looking at the QQQ, looking at the SMH, which is the semiconductor ETF, again, the uptrend is pretty strong. It's pretty much intact right here. You have a little bit of a consolidation right here, but right now it's at the bottom end of the Bollinger Band, and SMH is a leading semiconductor ETF, of which AMAT is an integral part of. I think it's like one of the fourth or the fifth largest holding within that ETF or representation, if you will. Let's switch over to AMAT now. Again, it's following the trend of the market here. So just let me get back here. Let me shrink this a little bit.
Yeah, sounds good. I like the way it's at the bottom of the Bollinger Band. And for those who have not looked at the video, the basics of technical analysis, please go back and watch that video, the basis of technical analysis, Bollinger Bands, introduction to Bollinger Bands. It really shows you how and why it's important to be at the bottom and how that will help you in your winning percentage on a trade. But go ahead, Super.
Okay. So, anyways, I drew the trend line here that represents. Let me blow that up a little bit. Can you see it a little bit better?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we can see it.
So, anyways, I think what's going on here is that it's above this longer trend line, and that represents strong support because of the number of references. 1, 2, 3. This would be like 4 references. It's good to have at least 2 or 3 different references if you're looking at support resistance trend lines. And I think right here, which is about 132, 130-ish would be good support. So in essence, I think a good bet on selling a put would be around 128 strike price, where you would have a 22% chance of finishing in the money, which is essentially you'd be able to collect the premium of that put of around maybe 83 cents per contract. Well, 83 cents per contract multiplied by 100, you'll be able to collect $83 for the week per contract and finish 81% or 82% out of the money. Means that there's an 82% chance you will not get assigned at this level. If you want to be a little bit riskier, you can collect a little bit more premium per contract. So that would be about $109 per contract you can collect with about maybe 83 to 82% not getting assigned. But if you do get assigned,
27. I think is that 73%?
Oh, 73.
Or,
Yes, 73%. I'm sorry. Yeah,
you would subtract that number from 100, and the one above, if you were to subtract that from 100,
that's about 78%. That's about 78%.
Yeah, 78%. I thought I heard you say 80%. So you got a 78% chance of winning this trade.
Yes.
So 73% chance of winning this trade. What you're betting here is you're making an investment that particular stock would not fall below that strike, and you would keep that premium. But go ahead, Patrick.
But anyways, even if it does fall below that strike price, for the reasons that it's a top semiconductor participant, it's got a strong analyst rating as compared to many of the other tech stocks. I think it's one that it's a safe bet to play. So if you get assigned, you're holding on to a good company in the long run.
All right, Patrick. I'm a big fan of the stock.
Okay.
There's a chip shortage, a big chip shortage out there. These guys, that's what they do, right?
Yes. Well, they provide the equipment that makes the chips, and
right.
So they're part of the semiconductor industry, as indicated with the SMH holdings. And SMH, of course, the semiconductor ETF, the leading one.
Hey, Patrick, will you stop sharing your screen? So, excuse me. So how did your SMH trade go last week? Let's give an update on your SMH trade before we sign off.
Okay, so I placed a put and a call. Well, on the SMH trade, I placed the strike at $247.50 a share as a in terms of selling the put. In terms of selling the call, that was at about $257.50. So SMH fell like the rest of the market did on Thursday and Friday. And on the call side, I was able to collect the money, obviously, without being forced to sell whatever I had in the SMH. But I did get assigned on the put side because the SMH fell below my strike price. And it's trading right now at around 243 a share. That was the close. The strike price is at $247.50. So I did get assigned some shares. However, because it's at the lower end of that Bollinger Band and it's hitting that support, and the economy is still strengthening, the earnings of many of these companies are still reporting very, very good earnings. The upwards trend of the 20-day and 50-day moving average is still moving upwards. I think SMH will continue to move higher. And if I want to create a put selling or option selling opportunity, what I could do is I could turn around and sell the calls and those additional shares that I collected from assignment at my strike price and still make money.
All right. Okay. So our winning streak kind of ran out as far as the not getting a sign on the put side, but obviously we won on the call side on SMH. How many weeks in a row did you go before you got assigned on that trade?
About 5 or 6 weeks. I can't. Yeah.
Let me see what's going on.
Yeah, I
I
wasn't
think we
hearing you.
may have lost. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yes.
All right. So I was just saying that that SMH was an ETF that you were excited about. So getting the sign is the ETF you wanted to own anyway.
Yes.
So you're really not losing. The ETF fell below your strike.
Yes.
And yeah, so you got assigned some SMH and you will continue to own it
Yes. And
and
right.
continue to trade covers on top
Mhm.
of it. So you'll be good to go.
And well, the original position that I have of SMH was awarded to me through assignment. So, and I'm up on that. I got assigned, I think, at around 232, 240, 233-ish or so. And right now it's trading at 243. So you're talking about maybe 5 to 10% appreciation within the space of a couple of months. So that's pretty good, even through the
Okay.
assignment.
Okay. Okay. So I think that's it for today, Patrick. A very long show today.
Yes.
We went over a lot of good stuff. So we ran over. We typically will finish a lot earlier than we did today. But I really wanted our audience to see this whole Forex high frequency trading thing that Gregory is doing, as well as, we get a lot of questions on crypto, and I am certainly not a crypto person. So it's good to get that update. And you and I, we would be here every week talking stocks and options. That's kind of what we do, Patrick. That's our
Yes,
bread and
I
butter.
mean, that's our background. I mean, I've been doing this since long time.
Absolutely.
Since I was in basic this side of high school.
Yeah. I mean, and I go back to the early 90s, so I mean, that's where that's our comfort zone. But in all situations, you can make money. And so it just depends on the person. So I'm looking at the chat here. I see a chat from Greg Dawson, a representative of the president. Okay. Yeah, Greg Dawson just hit me in the chat. And so about some future person coming on the show, which is cool. That's welcome. Anyone who wants to talk about, placing bets, which is a fancy word for investing, you're welcome to come on the show. Just hit us and we'll have a conversation and bring you on. So I think that's it for today, Patrick.
Yes, it is.
Great show.
Yes, it went by quickly.